have a review here on the Apple iPad Pro 10.5-inch screen. And right now here on this intro, I'm taping myself with the computer. Figured it'd be a good way to demonstrate it. Like I say, we'll take here, show you a demonstration, a little bit of the camera. Alrighty, just taping some scenery here, and it has zoom. And walk around here, we'll tape some more. Alright, here's actually test the zoom. There is, built in the backyard behind one barn, a hornet's nest. And I'm standing about 30 feet from this. I don't really per se want to go any closer to it. We're going to zoom in on it. There you can see the, out of focus a minute, maybe I have to back it up a little. And there you can see it does zoom in. I mean, it's not a, if you want a super video, you'll have to buy a camcorder, but don't do bad. And I'm here standing, I can see the hornets flying in and out of the nest. Alrighty, we'll go over a few other features with it. Alright, after watching a little demonstration on the camera on the iPad Air, 10.5-inch screen, we'll take a look at the iPad Air itself. That's just going to be a real quick, brief overview. I'm sure all of you watching this have iPhones or iPads before, but these two buttons right here, that's your volume control. Then you have your button there that turns the power on and off to it. This is where if you want to plug like headphones in, your 3.5mm, I believe, port. And there's the speakers. And right here in the middle is where you plug your lightning plug to charge the device, or link it to, like if you have a MacBook Pro. Okay, turn it on. Of course, press the, hold it there, and there it's powering on. Apple logo right in the middle. And we'll go over some of the features of it. We've done it, and just hold the home button, and it should get us, oh, I'm going to have to put the code in because it restarted. Okay, and there you're into your, what you see when you turn it on, and it's asking me about, which I knew I was due for a software update because I have a older iPad. It's now ready for iOS 12.4. That will close for right now. But here you have your FaceTime, which is novel. Anybody else with an iPhone, iPad, you can use phone number, email. You can talk to them and see their picture. Like I say, I learned that just last night. And then anything on these iPads or iPhones, you just hit your home button to go back. And of course, fairly self-explanatory. Calendar, there you can set up, like if you have appointments and that, you can use it for like a notebook and go by the week, month, and year. Now this year features something with my first iPad mini I got about 5 years ago. This is sort of like a time machine. You can start scrolling back in time, like right there, we're back to 1998, and if you were curious like what a certain day was, like say March 1st that year was on a Sunday. Just sort of probably not much of a use, but I find it novel. And here's our home button, we can go back. And then photos, which myself I have 1,203 photos right now and 26 videos stored. Now we can go back out of that into our settings. This is 64 gigabyte storage on this, and go into the general and then about, and you can see even with what I have stored there, you can see it's 64 gigabytes, but I still have 51.8 left even after all that. And like I say, on this is where you turn your Wi-Fi. You can have it on, which usually you probably want to, or you can turn it off. Just give it a slide. There, Wi-Fi is off. And we'll turn it back on again. There we go. And Bluetooth. Right now it's on. And this comes with the little headphones there, earbuds there, which I don't have hooked up. That's why that's that beep-free sound, but it's not connected because they're not on. But hey, we can go back out of that. And then of course your camera. You can take still pictures, selfies. Go back out of that. And you can put contact list in it. It comes by default. I haven't had any contacts with Apple in it. And their toll-free number and website address. Then of course clock there. You can, world clock, you can know the time anywhere all around the world. There's like Paris, it is 3:19 p.m. right now. Although I'm sitting here in Eastern time, it would be 9:19 a.m. And then your Google Maps. You can like search for an address here. I have in here 17 North Center Avenue, Somerset. Then it'll go to it. You can go from this too and get directions. And you can also up here hit this little eye and you can you can do like the map like it's in now, transit, or what I honestly like is the satellite mode. And then close out. And then you can take and really like zoom in on a location. And there are a little pin there where the address I put in. Okay, we can get back out of that. And the home button there, if you have like the thermostats and such lights there, you can turn them on and off with this. I don't have my home set up that way, but would be maybe down the road a nice feature. And again, home back to the main screen. Notes, sort of self-explanatory. You can make yourself notes. Like I say, and reminders. You can put in dates, times, things that need done. Stock market, if you're into the stock markets, it'll go into the stocks. And just click continue. And then you can see the Dow Jones average, S&P. Again, this, I'm not into stocks, it's totally foreign to me. But if you are, there's another feature of it. News headlines of the day. And top stories. Do our home button again. TV. And this last night I was experimenting around a little bit. There's a lot of stuff to watch. Most of it you got to pay a subscription. It's slow loading. I have DSL internet. Yeah, there it comes in. Then you can get a little brief overview. Click here on the app and it'll play. Once it's done loading, like I say, DSL, our internet, we have about 1.8 on the download and about a 0.5 on the upload.
They'll be up next as soon as they're available. So
but anyhow, just a quick demonstration on that. No matter what you do with these, you can pretty much work your way out of it. An iTunes store where you can go purchase music. I have, before I haven't with this yet, downloaded a good bit of songs off of the iTunes. But like I say, that's sort of go in, set up an account. I think now, like for the first 3 months, they're giving you free, and then after that, you can join for like $9.99 a month in the App Store. Of course, is where to go, and you can find apps. There is lots of free apps, which I already have installed. Twitter on this one. And then books, if you have any books. I don't in this one yet, but I downloaded some books in the other one off the internet. And back to your settings, that's where again sort of anything you need to know about the iPad, like what system and that you're running. And on that isn't a bad one. We'll go back to general. About this is the software version, which again it asked me about the updates. 12.2 iPad 3rd generation, and like I say, that tells you all your storage space and that, how many videos and songs and such you have stored. Okay, and then we can swing on to this. Tips I never actually experimented with. Collections, what's new, 9 tips. That I'll let you explore that one on your own. Podcast, I haven't did podcast yet, but like I say, you can continue. I couldn't set that up. The find phone feature, like I say, you have to be signed in. But through the GPS and the Google Maps, if you lose it there, you should be able to find your iPad. Never had to luckily use it. Find friends, well, same deal. It can, like I say, anybody in your contact information, you put their information in, and it can look them up. Photo booth, where you can do all sorts of taking photos with different backgrounds. I think one of my ones, no, how did we go back out? Back to this and turn the camera around. Of course, it's sitting against the table. Let's go back into that once. And how do we go back to that? Oh, there we go. You hit the little bubbles in the corner, and then you like take an X-ray picture, background, light tunnel. I think one I find most amusing, if I was going to mess with this, is the kaleidoscope. And voice memos, sort of self-explanatory. You can make a voice memo to yourself there, voice recorder. Measurement device, I was experimenting with that. That you got to be still and run it over the area. But it does seem like it will work. I measured on our floor one of these towels, and I think it was like 4-inch square, and it did work the other night. Then, of course, the Apple Store, you can go buy Apple updates and that. And clips, you can make movies. And the GarageBand, this is one I was having a little fun with the first day I got it. Let's see, guitar, bass. You can go in, there's guitar. Now do we go back to the main menu again? Oh, here we go. I was having a little fun with the piano the other night. You can drums. Ah, there we go. Keyboard. Then it brings up a little keyboard on the screen, and anyhow, that's something you can experiment with on yours. You can make songs, keynotes. Okay, that I think you can take. I know on my old one I stored some stuff in it. That's one there you can research some numbers. Cloud Drive. Then you got pages. This one I'm not sure either what it really does. Haven't experimented with it. iMovie, which that you can make movies on this, and then you can take, this is some stuff I had done on the actual, through the cloud it's showing up on the MacBook Pro, and it'll come into the screen. That is sort of the iCloud. I don't understand how it works, but well, go back in and hit that and hit play, and it's not playing. But back to our internet speed and that could be part of it. And then my Twitter account. But anyhow, that's a real quick overview. Hope you found this informative, enjoyed it there, and be sure to check out my other videos, and please consider subscribing.